Welcome to Bobby Horton performing the Battle of Shiloh Hill.
The Confederate attack was working. It was pushing Grant towards the water. It looked like he may push him into the river. But there's one place it's holding, and they now call it the Hornet's Nest. A guy named Prentice was holding. And so Johnston got on his horse and took his staff and started riding over there to help, see if he could help, send in coordinated attacks and this sort of thing. And en route, he spotted two Union officers that were badly wounded, and he asked his personal physician, he said, see if you can help those two fellas right there. And he did so, and then so General Johnston gets over, and they started stepping off, and they started coordinating attacks, and all of a sudden they started having success. When a mini ball, a bullet went, and it got him right behind his kneecap, and he thought, man, it stung him, but hey, I'm okay. So he kept directing the attack. And then he did so until his boot filled with blood, and he fell from his horse, and he was dead from loss of blood. The commander of the Confederate theater is dead on the field. As the Hornet's Nest falls, Beauregard takes over. You've heard of General Beauregard. He took over. He said, we'll finish this tomorrow. We need to reorganize, and we'll push Grant into the river tomorrow. That night, that Sunday night on April 6th, he was reinforced. Buell got there. They crossed troops all night long. Next day, Confederates made an attack. It was stopped, pushed back. They went all the way back to Corinth. Grant did not follow because this was an incredible, he was so wounded, his army was wounded, as was the Confederate army. Because you see, in 2 days of fighting at this place of peace, 23,800 killed, wounded, missing in 2 days. 23,800. This was a wake-up call for this country. They said, oh my God, this thing is spun out of control, and only God above knows where it's going to end. And there's a fellow named M.B. Smith, just a private soldier in Company C, 2nd Texas. When his unit got back to Corinth, he sat down when all the sights and sounds and smells and feelings and horror was fresh. He wrote this song. And bear in mind, these are the words of just a common soldier. Come all you valiant soldiers, a story I will tell about the bloody battle that was fought on Shiloh Hill. It was an awful struggle, it'll cause your blood to chill. It was the famous battle that was fought on Shiloh Hill. It was the 6th of April, just at the break of day. The drums and fifes were playing for us to march away. The feeling of that hour I do remember still, for the wounded and the dying that lay on Shiloh Hill. Hey, about the hour of sunrise, the battle it began. Before the day had vanished, we had fought them hand to hand. The horrors of that field did my heart with anguish fill, for the wounded and the dying that lay on Shiloh Hill. There were men from every nation laid on those bloody plains. Fathers, sons, and brothers were numbered with the slain. Just cause so many homes with deep mourning to be filled, all from that awful battle that was fought on Shiloh Hill. The wounded men were crying for help from everywhere. Others who were dying were offering God their prayer. Protect my wife and children, if it is thy holy will. Such were the prayers I heard that night on bloody Shiloh Hill. And early the next morning we were called to arms again, unmindful of the wounded and unmindful of the slain. The struggle was renewed and 10,000 men were killed. This was the second conflict at the famous Shiloh Hill. The battle it raged on, though dead and dying men. I think all over the hill, on the hill and on the glen. And from their deadly wounds, their blood ran like a rill. Such were the awful sights I saw on bloody Shiloh Hill. Before the day was ended, that battle ceased to roar. Thousands of brave soldiers had failed to rise no more. They left their vacant ranks for some other ones to fill, and now their moldering bodies lie on Shiloh Hill. And now my song is ended about those bloody plains. I hope the sight by mortal man may ne'er be seen again. But I pray to God, my Savior, if consistent with thy will, to save the souls of all who fell on bloody Shiloh Hill.